It's not easy, to be honest. I don't work full time, but I work 25 hours a week, probably, or 20, 25 hours a week in practice and then doing stuff outside of practice. But I love it. I actually, I mean, now that I'm on the PFL and we're with the MVP, I could probably just be a fighter now, you know? But I do the chiro on the side as well, just as a bit of a passion. I like helping people. So, yeah.
So you said being a chiropractor is the side gig and fighter is kind of the main.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's definitely switching, man. I got to put all my eggs into one basket. For the longest time, you know, I've been a top fighter, and I've kind of been juggling two different lives. You know, not that every fighter doesn't do that. We've got to do it tough to make it, but I like to think that I'm a really hard worker, and that's what's gotten me here. And it is tough to juggle, but look, it's amazing. We're with MVP now. How cool is that? So, you know, I could probably put more eggs into one basket now, which is amazing, which is what every fighter's dream is. That's how you get to that next level.
Absolutely, and what a great opportunity is. A quick fun one for me. If the opportunity ever arises, would you ever see one of your opponents, maybe somebody you defeat, and then you help treat them as a doctor?
Well, yeah, of course. You guys have probably heard of Steve Erceg. He's a UFC fighter. I fought Steve back in the day, back when we were young guns, and I've offered to help him out a few times. He's a bit scared. I think he's nervous with you know, with me touching his neck, but it'd be fine. I wouldn't go too hard.
Very nice. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Just overall thoughts on the win. Obviously, congrats. Did it go the way you were expecting? What's the plan?
Yeah, look, to be honest, he that first calf kick he threw on me, I was thinking, holy smokes, the alarm bells were going off in my head, and I felt a little bit like, oh shit, it rocked me a little bit, not like mentally, but I just hadn't felt pain straight away in a fight. Usually your adrenaline's so high you don't really feel pain. I've broken my hand in my fights. I've, you know, hairline fracture in my ankle, all sorts of stuff. I don't feel it till the next day or till after the fight, but straight away, the instant pain, I was like, damn, he hits hard, he's got powerful kicks for sure. So look, I definitely was feeling it into the second. My calf, I felt like I couldn't plant properly. So I have to address that style issue in the future. I did address it in the second. I felt like I was pulling my leg back and getting out of the way of the kick because I had to. But overall, mate, I'm happy with it. Alan's a super dangerous guy, you know? Like, he does wild shit. He throws up elbows, spinning elbows. I mean, in the first minute, he was showing all of those things. But I think I was putting the fear into him with my right hand. And if he can't address the wrestling, that's not my problem. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm dominating him in the wrestling, that's not my fault. He has to get up. You know, he has to work. I was trying to elbow him. I was trying to get, you know, a head arm, a sneaky half guard head arm that I usually do. He was defending well, but one time I got it, it was really tight. The fans don't know what that is, right? But to me, I knew I was pretty close to getting that, and he was starting to scramble and really work hard. And to be honest, I feel like even on the feet, I landed the cleaner jabs. I landed right hand, landed a nice body rip as he circled from the cage. I remember that because I heard him go. But yeah, I mean, what more can I say?
Does it ever bother you a little bit, like you just said there, like, you know, you're doing everything you can to get the result, and whether it's the crowd or outside noise when it's on the ground, is that not that you're worried about that, but does that ever get to you in the moment?
I do worry about that. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? I'm a person. I'm a human being, and I don't want to be boring. But at the end of the day, I was trying to set up something. I wasn't just trying to hold him there in half guard and do little taps and hold him. I was opening up. I elbowed him a few times. I felt his head slam back into the canvas. What am I meant to do? If he's holding me on top of him as well, trying to stall, so he doesn't lose position, what am I meant to do? I'm meant to just stand up and let him up? A dangerous guy who's just flying knees, spinning elbows, up elbows? I mean, no, you know, like, I love you guys, but at the same time, I got to win a fight, and that's my job. And I was trying to finish because I was trying to set up my half guard head arm, but it just didn't pan out that way. He's tough. He's tough.
Champ, you talked about being a chiropractor and at the same time being a professional fighter. Now that MVP and PFL have merged together, you talked also about placing more of your eggs in the whole basket. Would that be a dream of yours? And what do you see for yourself considering this merge now with your career?
Well, I mean, what an honour it is for me to fight here. I'm the first Australian that's fought on the MVP PFL kind of banner, you know. You know, it might not have been the barn burner fight, but I'm just honoured to have that opportunity. And at the same time, you know, 2 years ago I got rejected by the UFC. I know I broke my hand, my fight. I fought my heart out, and I got rejected. I didn't know where my career was going to go, and now I have an amazing opportunity with MVP and PFL, and they're creating big waves. I reckon they're going to make a real big dent into the combat sports space, and I'm just so honoured that I get to be a part of it. And one day, hopefully, maybe I am already Jake Paul's favourite Aussies fighter. I'd love to link up with Jake Paul one day. I admire his work and how far he's come and what he's doing to the sport. Same with John Martin.
Thank you.
No problem.
Sean, so we saw you walking in here limping a little bit.
Yeah.
Between the heel hook and the low kicks, how compromised was your leg at all?
No, the heel hook was nothing. That was nothing. I beat the knee line early, and he didn't really get the heel hook. It didn't get a good bite on it. It's just the calf kick. I had a previous fight, a 5-round fight against a tough South Korean guy back earlier in my career when I won my Hex bantamweight title. And I didn't respect the calf kick for the whole fight, and then my leg 2 days later was like a basketball. And I think ever since then I need to work on my defense, work on my counters to that, because I like to be on the front foot a lot. And Alan's just powerful, mate. I've had people calf kick my leg and doesn't do anything. He put everything. If I checked that kick, his leg was going. I'm telling you, that's how hard he threw that kick. I felt it. It pushed past that first bone. I felt it in my other bone. So just perfect spot. I think I went to step forward from memory off of a feint. He feinted, and then he slammed the calf kick as my heel touched the ground, and I felt it straight away. So I was a little compromised, but to be honest, I know in myself, I know the type of fighter I am. Even if I wasn't able to get him down so easily, that wasn't going to stop me, and I would have found a way to win.
How would you define your growth since the Dana White Contender Series?
I just had to, you can get defined by moments in your career, and if you allow that to happen, it can really set you back. And I just had to stay on point. I know who I am. I'm not going to be told who I am. I know who I am. And so that's how I grew. I had to grow up a lot after that, and I feel like I've come a long way. I've just had my second fight inside 3 months with the PFL. My first fight was an absolute war with one of the toughest fighters probably in the UK. I think he was ranked number 2 at the time in the UK. Upper weight class from my natural weight class. I'm a natural 125er. And we put on a war. I dropped him twice. And then I'll come fight an LFA title challenger who also fought on the Dana White Contender Series. And what happened in the Contender Series? He got controlled and out-grappled and beat up by Farid Basharat. I just did the same thing. So I think that speaks to what level I am at. Maybe not the most exciting fight in the whole wide world. I understand that. But I'm a natural 125er jumping up to 135 and taking on best fighters in that weight class outside of the UFC who are fighting for these big promotions, LFA, Cage Warriors champions, now PFL, and I'm beating them. So I think that speaks to my level. I really hope MVP and PFL, consider a 125-pound division in the future. But if they keep putting 135ers in front of me, I'll keep knocking them down.
And one last one from me. What's been tougher for you, fighting or riding a horse? Mate, waking up early at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the stables and shovel shit, that's a lot worse than what I have to do here. I know you can get knocked out and long-term damage, but I'd rather be doing this. I sleep in a little bit, so I train at 10 o'clock, I sleep in. My coaches can tell you I'm not always on time, so I like my lifestyle, I like what I do, and I have the utmost respect for jockeys because what they do is extremely dangerous. My dad has had a lot of injuries. He was in a coma for 8 days. He broke his spine. And they don't get enough respect because they're little and it doesn't look like they do much, but they're great athletes and they do a lot. So I wouldn't even compare this to horse racing and the dangers of being a jockey. Cool, thank you.
No worries, mate. Good questions. Any other questions?
Good, guys. Thank you.
Did you have a question? No? I'll answer that later.